Welcome to 7:30. I'm Chris Ullman. Well, it's been another astounding day in Canberra. Julia Gillard crushed Kevin Rudd in the leadership ballot, ending a week of all-out political warfare. Now a divided party claims to be united. At least that's the script, and we'll be speaking to the victors and the vanquished in a moment. But in another sensational development late this afternoon, the faceless man from Central Casting, Senator Mark Arbib, quit both his ministry and the Parliament. Political editor Heather Ewart reports.
The weather here in Canberra is as grim as the mood amongst Labor Party MPs.
Are you confident, Mr Rudd? Are you feeling confident, Prime Minister?
The task of leadership is to bring people together.
You don't look at the opinion polls to work out what you believe in.
The Prime Minister, I think, this morning will get a convincing win.
I'm proud to support Kevin Rudd.
Julia Gillard has won the ballot, 71 votes to 31.
Disappointed, Mr Rudd? United Party, gentlemen?
United, absolutely.
We'll be a united party. Will.
The caucus has spoken. I accept the caucus's verdict without qualification and without rancour.
It was bound to end this way. After days of an unprecedented publicly aired verbal bloodbath, Kevin Rudd had been outmanoeuvred by those who would never allow his return. He went into this morning's caucus meeting finally facing the inevitable, that he had no chance, and the majority of his colleagues, 2/3 in fact, was sticking with Julia Gillard, who swiftly made this pledge to the bewildered and irritated Australian electorate.
I can assure you that this political drama is over and now you are back at centre stage where you should properly be, and you will be the focus of all of our efforts.
That certainly now needs to be the case right up to election day if Labor wants to give itself any hope of reviving its political fortunes.
The last week has seen us, the women and men of the Labor Party, focused inwards, focused on ourselves. At times it's been ugly. I understand that. I also understand that as a result, Australians have had a gutful of seeing us focus on ourselves. I understand the frustration of Australians in seeing us do that. So today I want to say to Australians one and all, this issue, the leadership question, is now determined.
It's been ugly, all right, and the level of vitriol has shocked even the party's most seasoned elders, who have been through more than the odd ALP brawl over the years. But Julia Gillard's backers were determined to smash Kevin Rudd, to expose all the reasons they ousted him in the first place, and to get this undertaking.
I accept fully the verdict of the caucus, and I dedicate myself to working fully for her re-election as the Prime Minister of Australia. And I will do so with my absolute ability dedicated to that task.
Many Australians will have their doubts that after this fight, Labor can come together and pull together in a united way. To any who have those doubts, I say this: we have come together before and we will do so now.
To those who have been a little more willing in their public character analysis of me in recent times, could I say the following? I bear no grudges, I bear no one any malice, and if I've done wrong to anyone in what I've said or in what I've done, to them I apologise. It's time, in fact it's well past time, that these wounds were healed.
But not without one last barb in the caucus room. Kevin Rudd told the party he would support Julia Gillard even against a third candidate down the track. In other words, he's implying she's not out of the woods yet, especially if the opinion polls worsen. Not so, say her backers, who insist the Prime Minister finally has clear air to get on with the job. For now, as with the aftermaths of all leadership challenges, the immediate task is the mop-up.
Through this process, I can say I've learned some things. As I said last Thursday, I know I have made some mistakes about how I have been an advocate for our policies and programs, our Labor vision in the community. I intend to be a stronger and more forceful advocate of what we are doing and what we are achieving for the Australian people.
There's one member of her team who won't be part of any of this. Assistant Treasurer Mark Bibb, one of the right-wing heavyweights who once supported Kevin Rudd but helped install Julia Gillard in 2010, made a shock announcement late this afternoon.
I'm resigning because I want to give the party a chance to heal. I want to be able to mend some of the conflict that has happened in the past. That is why I'm stepping down as a minister in this government.
After citing family reasons, Mark Bibb, who's had his fair share of detractors in the party, suggested he was really taking one for the team.
There's been plenty of leadership challenges in the past on all sides of politics. Parties can get over it. This has been a difficult one, and some people need to make decisions that really are in the party's interest. And that's what I'm doing.
It's been the right thing to do.
So will Kevin Rudd do the same? Flanked by his family at his news conference, the former Foreign Minister signalled he wasn't going anywhere.
I will continue as the federal member for Griffith. I will continue, as I've stated before, with the support of my local community, to continue as the federal member for Griffith into the future and beyond the next election.
Anybody who's watched Kevin Rudd's statement to the media today could see the honesty, the candour, the way that he's approached that press conference. They could see what he said, and I absolutely accept it.
How Kevin Rudd will deal with no longer trotting the world stage is difficult to imagine, especially as he rattled off all these farewells to his international counterparts.
I don't wish to name them all, but I count William Hague as a personal friend. We have worked very closely together. I count John Baird, the new Foreign Minister of Canada, or newish Foreign Minister of Canada, in the same category. Marty Natalegawa, next door in Indonesia.
Those days as Foreign Minister are now behind him. And as question time in the Parliament got underway this afternoon, there was Julia Gillard on the front foot and there was Kevin Rudd on the back bench, a spot that will take some getting used to. And of course there were the inevitable questions from the opposition, scarcely able to contain its glee.
Given that 1/3 of her parliamentary colleagues and a quarter of her cabinet colleagues have expressed their lack of confidence in her today, how can she claim to have a mandate to continue as Prime Minister?
I always give him full marks for audacity, if not consistency. He comes into this Parliament having survived his leadership issues by one vote. It's no wonder the Leader of the Opposition got some new suits after he became Leader of the Opposition. The rest of them were covered with blood, Mr Speaker.
There were plenty more questions like this, but you get the drift. It's bound to go on for the rest of the week. It's already in Liberal TV ads, which will set the tone for the next election campaign.
I have no confidence in this Prime Minister. There are 72 coalition members of the Parliament who have no confidence in this Prime Minister. There are now 31 members of the caucus who have no confidence in this Prime Minister.
But she is still the Prime Minister, albeit of a team scarred and battle-weary from months of leadership tensions. Unity looks a tall order after all the angry words that have been flung. Julia Gillard can't afford any more mistakes, and her soon-to-be-announced ministerial reshuffle will be the first test. At the very least, she has to replace Kevin Rudd and Mark Bibb. She maintains all is not lost yet.
I absolutely believe that united we can win the next election, and I am very determined that in the 2013 election we do so.
Not all of her colleagues share that confidence.
I intend to be a very forceful advocate of the government's policies, so settle in. Any other questions? Thanks very much.